this episode, we're leaving the Schengen area as our visas are starting to run out, and we're relocating to Turkey where east meets west. We're flying into Dalaman Airport, which is in the southwest, and we're going to sail for 2 weeks around the Aegean Sea, around Marmaris in Turkey, to remote villages.
At the first hotel that we checked into in Marmaris, Dawn immediately fell in love with Turkey, realizing that there are cats everywhere, including on the hotel reception desk.
On the boardwalk on the Marmaris beach. Lots of boats out there.
We spent a little time checking out the Marmaris tourist area, which is essentially a long beach covered with people taking very cheap beach holidays and all-inclusive hotels. Not our thing, but it was kind of fun to see it for a few days.
He's like me.
We are in Marmaris, getting really hot. And we're drinking, what are these called? Churchills. They're really strong. They got water and lemon juice and salt in them. Hangover cure. Wow, tourism.
You friends, you were so fine.
Real smooth. Let's go.
We are drinking full-on Churchills without any slacking off on the booze.
One of the unique things we found about Marmaris was they had these LED flashing lights along most of the roads to direct traffic and to protect pedestrians walking down the street. They were pretty cool and quite the installation. We've crossed the bridge over to Netsel Marina, and that's where the really, really high-end shops are, but it's beautiful.
Dawn, this reminds me of your mum. Don't you think? Kind of.
I'm telling. These wooden boats are everywhere, and they're called gullets, or homemade Turkish boats. and they take tourists around either for the day or for the whole week and have cabins. The sailboat we chartered was a Jeanneau 419 Sun Odyssey, which is a 42-foot sloop. It had 3 cabins, a Genoa headsail, fully battened mainsail on a track with lazy jacks. It was stripped down for chartering in good condition and managed by Perfect Sailing, who we highly recommend.
We're finally sailing again from Marmaris. Day one. We're leaving Marmaris and we're heading to a place that I can't remember the name of, but it's somewhere on the map that way.
We'll let you know where we are when we get there.
Somewhere near the Clashing Rocks.
It's about 10 nautical miles and we're going south, slightly west of Marmaris Bay. Adaköy, Marina is where we're starting from.
Adaköy.
Alright, we'll let you know where we are when we get there.
Yeah.
So far everything's good with the boat. The only problem we have is the wind vane. It doesn't seem to be working or giving us any wind direction. Everything else is good. Only 3 dock lines, but that should be okay because we're anchoring up at the quay with their lazy lines.
Hopefully not anchoring.
Or tying off with their lazy lines.
Lazy bites.
Anchoring tomorrow.
I'm not sure. We're about 20 miles north of Marmaris, out east of Marmaris, and we stopped at a little anchorage for lunch out in the middle of nowhere, and the water was absolutely perfect to swim in. It's swimming pool temperature, and we're having Turkish lunch.
With fresh bread.
Turkish bread and a whole bunch of Turkish mazzini things that we picked up from the supermarket. We don't really know what they are, but there's a lot of yogurt-based stuff that's absolutely delicious. And cucumber and tomatoes, obviously. Yeah, yummy food and a delightful blue sea. So we did a little rope throwing practice, and the trick here is to separate the rope into 2 pieces, and and then let one go as the first one plays out. You get a nice straight throw on the line. The mornings around the Turkish coast are very calm. You're lucky if you get 10 knots of wind. So we didn't have any downwind light sails like a Code Zero or Jenica or something. So we just kind of tootled along in the morning and waited for the wind to pick up in the afternoon.
The absolute best thing we discovered about waking up in these remote villages was something called village bread. They cooked it fresh every morning. You'd get it hot and eat it with honey. We sailed around the corner to a little peninsula called Bosburun and met a nice lady called Lynn, who married a Turkish man and started a great restaurant. The unique and best thing about all of these little villages we visited were their mezes. Mezes were small appetizers or tapas that they served before the main meal, and boy were they delicious. Here's an example of the array of mezes at Osman's, which represents the very best of what Turkey has to offer.
Sometimes you have to watch out. Some people want to catch a ride from you and stow away on your boat. Generally, the sailing conditions were nearly perfect in around the Turkish coast and the Aegean Sea. The wind would pick up in the afternoon, and it's pretty light wind in the morning, but in the afternoon you'd pick up to between 20 and 25 knots, and which just provides for a nice, relaxing sailing conditions. And then at the end of the day, you just arrive at a little marina where someone will wave you in and help you moor up with a medi moor to a dock. That makes it very convenient. And then you find a little restaurant at the end of the marina. So very, very simple sailing and very relaxing. And then my nieces Corrie and Rowan joined us for a week, and they flew in from Scotland, and we spent a relaxing week together, just sailing around the coast again and enjoying the food and the coastline and whatever we could see. several spots along the Turkish coast, and a little bit disappointed about the what was around to see in the water. Really not very much going on underwater in these coastal areas. Looking at these production boats underwater, you can really get a sense of how fragile the situation is with respect to the keel and the sail drive propellers and the rudder. You really don't want to hit anything like a whale or a container or a rock. Not very well protected.
I don't know where the other guy went. That was good.
So do you want to go on the banana one now? You're glad you did it though, Rowan. So now my two nieces are leaving, heading off back to Scotland. Maybe next time we can invite Willow, who's their younger sister, and maybe we could stick her on the end of a hook and drag her behind the boat and see if we can catch a really big fish.
So from here, Peter and I are going to take the public transport and buses up the coast from Marmaris all the way up to Istanbul over the next couple months and soak in all the culture and show you what else we can